led by,
Mr. Viglianti will be introducing one of his students from
I don't even see Mr. Big.
Oh, did he?
We can sit down again. We have a fourth grader that's gonna lead us, so we'll wait until she gets up here.
It's not against the water conditions. Is that her over here on the wall? Yeah, I know Marie, but she wouldn't last that long because they're trying to get out.
We know.
I recognize her by Ali's description.
Did you get my emails that they gave
How
me?
did you have roll recorded?
You can do all this stuff when they come back.
I just deleted it, I laughed.
Oh, there you are.
Mr. Viz, we've been waiting.
For me? Yeah. I don't think so.
Not really for you, but for your student.
Yeah, I just checked. Unfortunately, I don't know where she is.
Excuse me, young lady in the back. Would you like to lead us in the pledge? All right, come on up.
Sure.
Excuse me, can you tell us your name and what grade you're in?
I'm in 6th grade, and my name's Kate Campbell.
Thank you, Mrs. Campbell, we appreciate it. Mr. Viz, thank you for the effort. All right, we're gonna go right to number 3 in the superintendent's report.
Yes, I've asked Ms. Amelia if she would share with the board and the public the numbers of students who participated in our summer food program here in Easton.
Thank you, Mr. Reinhardt. I'm pleased to share with you the overall impact that the summer food service program had on the students in our community this summer. We served a total of 3,519 students across the June, July, and August months at Paxenosa and Cheston Elementary Schools, a free lunch. So this was our first year of the program, and by serving over 3,000 students, I think that that's a very strong foundation for us to build on in future years. I want to publicly acknowledge and thank the administration of the Easton Area School District, the Easton Area Education Association, the bus drivers, the Teamsters 773, Family Connection, and Communities and Schools of the Lehigh Valley for coming together and partnering to volunteer their time throughout the summer to serve those meals.
Mr. Millie and the board would like to thank all those as well. That's wonderful, 3,519. Also, we'd like to thank you, Mr. Millie, because I know you worked hard at the beginning to put it together, and you had some battles in there you had to take care of. So we appreciate you sticking to it and getting everybody together. And we hope that this is something that we can see every summer.
Yep. Next, I'd like to introduce to everyone Sandra Marset, and I would like to ask Sandra if she would come forward and just spend a few minutes telling us a little bit about the ESL summer program that we offered here in Easton. Hi, Sandra.
Hello, thank you very much for this opportunity. As Mr. Reinhardt mentioned, I am an ESL teacher. I was just recently moved down to the elementary school, and I realized that my students have a lot of summer learning loss over those months of the summer where we are having our holidays. So I decided to try and combat this, and I just, on a whim, decided to do a summer camp, volunteered for this, and very kindly, Alyssa Milley gave me that opportunity and the permission to do so. I have to give a public shout out to transportation. my children piggybacked onto the one loop of the Sizzle bus run that they were able to do. And then their parents either dropped them or picked them up. I had kindergarten and first grades from 9 to 8:30 to 10:30. And then from 11 to 1, I taught my second through fourth graders. And those were actually rising fifth graders because I particularly wanted those rising fifth graders to have this opportunity for the middle school. I had an amazing volunteer, Erin Ball, who is a present junior at our high school, very proactive, very gung-ho, very confident. She's going to be going places, definitely. And I think that's about it. Oh, at the end of it, I was very, very fortunate to get a grant from the Eastern Foundations for Schools. So all the students that participated in my summer camp were able to also participate in a canal boat ride as well as the museum with their parents. Thank you very much.
Are you, it sounded like you were gonna keep going.
I did, I wanted to.
Then I'll let you go. I just have a question, but I'll let you finish.
Yes. Okay. I also wanted to do a public shout out for my two former co-workers in the high school, Katie Weigel and Tiffany Bandix, who have had their students write stories and then record them and send them down to my students. So my students have the design CDs or whatever, and then they practice their listening skills. It's a wonderful win-win opportunity all around.
Sandra, if I could, I just want to extend our deepest thanks to you and to Aaron and to everyone really who helped to participate in this. I know you volunteered your time. Could you tell me how long your experience lasted? How many days?
It was 3 full weeks, Monday through Thursday.
Monday through Thursday for 3 full
8:30 to
weeks. She contributed her time and energy to this, and I just think that is over the top and just a fantastic testament to your dedication to your students. And the fact that we were able to make this work through the transportation, getting those kids on the buses for another program, I mean, it was a perfect example of how we would hope that these opportunities will work for all of our kids. Thank you for doing this. Just fantastic. And we do have some certificates we'd like to give to you and to Aaron to just acknowledge in some small way your commitment to the schools.
And I still have a question.
Yes. I'm so sorry.
That's okay. It's not your fault, it's his. As an ESL teacher, how do you feel about the amount of parental involvement that we're getting for those students? Has it increased over the last couple of years, or is that something that you think the district needs to work harder in getting the families more involved?
Yes, the district has to work harder in getting the families more involved. I personally go and visit my students. I did that in the high school. I do it in the elementary school. School for many people that come from other countries is a bureaucratic, heavy, intimidating environment. And as welcoming as we make it feel, it's just not in their culture necessarily to maybe question. But I will say that all the parents that I have met and worked with are very keen on their students succeeding. There needs to be a better passage between, say, the high school and the students, the middle school and the students, and even elementary and students and their parents, because it's too often my English language learners and other English language learners fall through the cracks. On average, an English language learner will only gain 6 to 8 months of an academic learning every year. Regular kids gain 8 to 10 months. So then they progress to the next grade and they're still that little bit further behind. And this was why I decided to do the camp.
Well, that's something maybe we can all brainstorm on, because that's something we definitely need to work on.
I think it works better school by school rather than the high school, maybe the department or the history department in high school does something with their students. And a public shout out for academic gains of any kind for these students should be acknowledged.
Thank you very much. We have your certificates here.
Thank you so much, appreciate that.
All right, we're gonna move to.
First of all, I have. Okay, well, the IU hosted quarterly principal symposium in August, and it went well. They were actively engaged in sessions and sharing ideas on how to make the schools better. And also for early intervention at the IU, the IU is piloting a new program to help have parents be more involved in their children's education, basically. And I think that hopefully that this works out well, because it's important to have parents involved,
Absolutely.
especially when your children have special needs.
Carl, he's the only
Okay,
headline.
so
Thank you very much. And the
That'd be
public
his
library.
son's
Well, as you know, there were a lot of
Remember Carl?
changes over
But,
the
yeah, I'm
summer.
sure you know.
The Southside branch closed, and the library moved to a ISP system to RNC, and so now the connection is better and higher speeds, and so hopefully the computers will
Should calm down.
make things easier for those using them, so hopes of seeing increase in speed and transactions within the system. And also, the Friends of the Library sponsored an evening with Mary Schaefer, the author of the book Devastation on the Delaware, and that's talking about Hurricane Diane and why this storm had impacted it in our area.
All right, thank you very much. CIT, Mr. Snyder, Vanderburg, and/or Ms. Weiss.
I only have one thing, that we're gonna have a special meeting on the 29th to award bids for the Mason.
That's it?
We're also moving forward, we reviewed some more plans with the architect, on the, shop lab construction, looking for some more cost-effective alternatives that the architect did present to us at the last meeting. And there's also some movement on the house, the CIT house project, if, for anybody that doesn't know, CIT, is like their own home builder. They build homes from scratch using students from the school that completely construct these homes. And they do a phenomenal job. It's great to see them crafted by the kids themselves.
Thank you very much, Mr. Vanderburg. Community College, Mr. Fainall.
Very short agenda, but two of the items that's always important. The good news is we're in much better shape than a lot of the colleges across the state and the country in our attendance. We're just slightly below the projection at this point, and slightly means less than 1%. Also, we celebrate the 10th year anniversary of the Bauer Center. It's 10 years ago that we opened the facility on the south side of Bethel. So, and that concludes my report.
The Foundation for Eastern Schools, Mr. Buscemi.
First thing with the foundation, and I mention this every meeting, is the Grease Band concert, November 22nd, 6 o'clock at the middle school. It's something that we hope everybody will come out and have a good time with us, because the proceeds are certainly going to a good cause. The other thing, the way you can help, is if anyone uses Amazon, you can actually have a donation go to the foundation through Amazon Smiles. Okay, there's a link there, and you can look for your charity, check that, and every time you make a purchase, they'll donate a portion to the foundation. And that's been successful for us. We haven't made a whole lot of money on it, but we're bringing in some money from that. I just want to recap a little bit what happened during the 2014-15 school school year. The foundation funded $4,100 in teacher grants. They accepted and funded $8,050 in restricted grants. They coordinated and received the donation of an $8,000 baby grand piano for the high school. They raised $14,500 in EITC donations. They raised $3,500 in grants for Sizzle, and they raised $22,130 in profit from the gala. That's all going toward helping the students, and as you heard earlier, the summer program benefited from part of that also. So that's just a little bit of what they've been doing, a very dedicated group of people, and my hats are off to all of them. That concludes my report.
Thank you, Mr. Buscemi. Charles Schrin, Science and Technology Initiative, Mr. Monahan.
Our next meeting is in October, just after the committee meetings.
Thank you. Legislative, Mr. Fainall.
Very easy. As you continue to follow what's going on in Harrisburg, it continues. Discussion I had this past week is obviously no budget appears this month. Don't hold your breath for next month. Hopefully before the end of the year, which I know has impacts in everything we talked about from the finance point of view. But there's no real end in sight.
Thank you, Mr. Fainall. Student Council, Mr. Cook.
Well, this evening, we have with us a new crop of senior leaders. We have Board. She is in this evening for Sarah Lutz, our president, who is kicking the ball around at a soccer game right now. And then also following Carla, we have our senior class president, Julia Campbell, who will be speaking to you this evening and asking for permission on our senior activities, getting prepared for Turkey Day.
All right.
Good evening. My name is Carla Ramos. Our president, Sarah Lutz, would like to apologize for not being able to come due to her soccer game. Student Council began the school year by giving out teachers a customized pen as a welcome back gift. And we are also working on helping out with the recycling program at our school to keep our school environment clean. So far, we recycle all the white paper in all the recycling bins in each of the classrooms. Our homecoming dance is Saturday, November 14th from 7 to 10 p.m. at the high school cafeteria. We are currently reaching out to local businesses and we are trying to collect food donations. Freshman elections were held last Monday and we welcome the new officers at our Tuesday meeting. Both the sophomore and junior class are working on collecting class dues and making a class shirt. The senior class is finishing up on class dues and are planning to collect wood donations for the bonfire. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Hi, my name is Julia Campbell. I'm the president of the class of 2016. Basically just here to ask for formal permission to carry on with our Turkey Week festivities. We're asking to do the wood collecting and the sleep out on November 24th and the actual bonfire on November 25th. On behalf of myself, the senior class, the rest of Easton High School, and the whole community, I know we'd all appreciate your approval so we can carry on with the tradition yet again. That's it. Thank you.
We will be voting on that in a few minutes. I think you know what the answer is going to be. I don't know anybody that's going to vote no to that. Ladies and gentlemen, Ms. Miller, who's on the agenda under the superintendent's report, letter B, is going to update us on summer music camp. She has arrived, so we are going to go back and let her tell us about the summer music camp.
Good evening. Greetings from the Easton Area Music School. Let me try that again. I'm out of breath. I just ran from another performance, so I'm sorry. Greetings from the Easton Area School District Music Department. Our music department hosted an exciting event this summer, the Easton Rover Band Camp, held July 13th to 16th at the Easton Area Middle School. The camp was open, free of charge to any 4th and 5th grade band student who wanted to reinforce what he or she had learned in instrumental lessons and band during the school year, while making new friends, meeting new music teachers, and generating enthusiasm for what the future holds in Easton's tradition of musical excellence, the wonderful world of band. Each day began with all of us singing together in the auditorium before heading off to group instrumental lessons in various classrooms throughout the middle school. There, we worked on music fundamentals, breathing, tone production, finger technique, note reading, and musicality. Then we all got together for a snack before reporting to our exploration stations. There was a different station each day. One day a drum circle in one room, music instrument bingo in another, music technology apps in another, movement and folk dancing in yet the final. But it didn't end there. We then reported to the auditorium for recital time. Each day, an accomplished high school student performed a challenging piece on his or her instrument. We were even visited by a local professional clarinetist. The children were amazed by these performances and asked insightful questions during the question and answer time that followed each recital. Finally, we ended our day in the band room for our full band rehearsal. All of us, teachers, kids, and high school students, played together. It was fun to play under the direction of a different band director each day. At the end of rehearsal on the final day, the high school students stood up and surprised us by playing their marching band football stand songs. Everyone was blown away. This wonderful event would not have been possible without the generosity of many people. Our middle school music teachers who organized the camp, our vocal and instrumental music teachers who volunteered their time at the camp, over 20 high school band students who assisted the teachers and served as role models. We think they enjoyed the camp as much as the little ones did. Zeswitt's Music Store for supplying sunglasses and prizes for music bingo, Nazareth Music Store for supplying band folders, Easton Area High School Music Boosters for t-shirts and support, Frito-Lay for donating snacks, parent volunteers and retired music teachers who helped at the camp, secretaries and custodians for hosting us during the summer. We thank our administration and the school board for the support of our comprehensive music program. It makes all the difference. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Marie, and I want to acknowledge as well Rich Ressler, who is here, both music teachers and both individuals who contributed to this grand event this summer. I, once again, have to tip my hat to these people who care so much about the program and about the students that they offered their time and created this camp. I would love to be able to take our board members there, and maybe we can do that next summer if they offer it again, so you can get a sense of the joy that fills that whole area with all these kids who are having a chance to learn in that relaxed atmosphere. And it wouldn't happen without these wonderful people. So thank you so very much. I know you had a lot of students involved in helping you do this, a lot of high school students, and we've got certificates for each one. I don't know the best way for us to be able to get those to the kids, maybe through Mr. Cook at the high school. But we'd like to acknowledge all the teachers, and you'll be getting acknowledgement from me if you haven't already. And also, just the fact that you, what's critical here in the summer is that you're connecting in all these programs, they're connecting older kids with younger kids, and they're causing this wonderful nurturing to take place. You heard that last time when we talked about Sizzle and we talked about the Camp Invention. You heard that now with Sandra and ESL, and once again with our music program. So, on behalf of all of us, thank you so very much for making this contribution to the district.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Before we move on, Chloe, are you ready for us? Do you want to tell us your name and what grade you're in? Fourth grade, all right. I'm sorry that Mr. Vidge made you late today. But are you ready to lead us in the pledge?
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you.
All right, letter I, PTA, Ms. Robertson.
All right, good evening. I want to start off by saying that we have an especially chatty crew this year on PTA, so my summary, I'm sorry, I'm paring it down as much as I can, but they've got a lot to say. Over at Cheston, they are kicking off their fundraiser this year with a Gertrude Hawk sale. They'll also have a fall scholastic book fair scheduled for the first week in October. At the 5-6 building, the incoming fifth graders are finding their way and things are finally settling down. They are in the middle of a fall fundraising effort and are especially encouraging talented young people to participate in the PTA Reflections art program that celebrates creativity and expression. This program is actually available to all schools within the district. Their committees are off to a great start. Their school store is up and running, and a dance is already planned for October. They have a book fair scheduled for next month. One thing that is unique and new to their PTA is developing a committee work group to work on increasing cultural awareness as a PTA, with goals to use both our own and national PTA diversity task force to increase parental involvement and to reach out to diverse communities. I know the president over there, Lynn Alexander, is starting to attend the diversity committee. She's thrilled. Under this new direction, they would also like to include increased advocacy for members with disabilities. So there are good efforts underway at the 5-6 building. Over at 7-8, their open house on September 10th went very smoothly, and they're kicking off their fundraiser this Friday. It's a busy time for fundraising. Their next PTA meeting is October 15th. Over at Forks, they will have their first turkey tray on Friday, November 13th. They are also selling Save Around coupon books as their fundraiser. Over at March, they are kicking off things with a mum sale through Palmer Nursery. We always try to recruit local businesses. Their first PTA meeting is coming up on September 30th. It will be a meet and greet, and it'll also be an opportunity for parents to learn more about volunteer clearances. They will actually have computers there on hand for folks to sign up for clearances that night. I'm actually going to try to go to and just extra set of hands. To date, clearances has been their biggest obstacle, mostly due to transportation issues, which I know I've had a lot of questions into Mr. Castrovinci. He's been great, and into you guys, just to figure out what we can do with that. So it's definitely coming along. Over at Palmer, their membership drive and their contest is in full swing, and they will be having a health and safety day on September 28th. Included in that is their first fundraiser, their annual Panther Prowl Walkathon. Paxinosa, I actually was fortunate to attend their first PTA meeting of the year. I was very impressed. They have a Grandparents' Day coming up on September 29th. They've already had over 150 grandparents sign up, so they get a good response for that. Their fall fundraiser will kick off this week with an assembly, and their first PTA meeting was a success with 4 brand new and eager officers and interested parents, along with several area council reps. Afterwards, area council was treated to a tour of the school, thanks to Mr. Vidge. It is truly a beautiful and historic building. Their next PTA meeting will be on October 7th. And finally, their PTA is partnering with Teachers for Read for the Record on October 22nd. Shawnee will also be kicking off a mum sale through Palmer Nursery, as well as a sportswear sale through local business A&H Sportswear. And finally, at the end of the month, they're going to have a McTeachers Night over at the new McDonald's in Forks Township. So stay tuned on day. I don't have a date for that. And the Shawnee teachers have graciously volunteered their time to go ahead and work behind the counter. And finally, at Tracy, they will be hosting an ice cream social with the book fair next week. P.S. Rumor has it that Tess the Tiger may make an appearance, and it may or may not be my daughter inside of there. All school board members and administrators are encouraged to attend. And finally, on October 6th, they will have their annual Apple Crunch Day. Students will participate in a student-wide crunch into a fresh apple at the same time. Apples are being donated from our food service provider, Chartwells. Students will be encouraged to wear red or green to support the day. So lots going on. Good
Thank
stuff.
you.
Yep.
Thank you.
EAEA, Mr. Ressler.
Good evening. I'm Richard Ressler. I'm one of the vice presidents of the association. Ms. Miles is unable to attend tonight. I'll be brief. First off, the year's off to a grand start, and the teachers would like to thank the administration for setting up a wonderful opening day speaker. He was he was extremely well-spoken, good, and very, he got us all in the mood to get started. So it was wonderful to have that, and I'll bite the heat at all the elementary schools, which was quite difficult the first 3 weeks so far. It seems to get better. We're off to a good start. So again, thank you for the administration and for the board for making that possible and allowing our students to have a good start. Teachers are also very encouraged, working with the administration towards the end of the summer to help address class sizes. So that was a very positive thing. And again, thank you to the board for allowing some new teacher faces to be brought in to help alleviate the class size, especially at our elementary levels right now. Now, finally, the last thing, and it's not a pleasant thing, but we are already, as we start the year and only 18 days in, starting to have a concern over the substitute coverage at the elementary schools and the high school levels. Uncovered teachers have happened nearly every day at this point. And the biggest concern I see at the elementary level are the services our students then don't receive when the teachers are being pulled from coverage areas such as reading and math to be placed in classrooms. So that is an area we are very concerned about at this time. So thank you.
Thank you. Ms. Jones, bus driver.
Good evening. Just like to say we're off to a good year so far. One of the supervisors are here. I think she'll concur. We're doing well so far. We can always use more bus drivers. If anybody knows anybody, send them our way, please. Ms. Amelie mentioned that the bus drivers helped in the summer with the program. It was great, the interaction with the kids, and we do look forward to doing it again next year. And in advance to the vote tonight, I'd like to thank all of you, I'm sure you're going to vote yes, for our cameras for our vehicles and our new vehicles. Thank you, and we look forward to a good year.
How, when that got pulled from the agenda, did
No,
nobody?
I don't think so. I know where you live.
Diversity Committee, Mr. Reinhardt.
Yes, we met last week. We welcomed the PTA volunteer, which I thought was fantastic. PTA collectively, the council expressed an interest in participating, and so we welcomed her, and she's going to be a great addition to our conversations. I am pleased to say that to at least two districts, Bethlehem and Easton, both now have a working draft of an equity plan, a document that we're moving forward, and we believe that in both cases there will be a finalized document coming to the boards, sometime in the months ahead, and that's, I think, a big step in the right direction, and appreciate the board's continued support of our efforts with the Diversity Committee. Thank you.
Thank you. Any standing committee reports? We're going to go down to number 7. Is there anyone from the public who would like to be heard on agenda items only? Agenda items only at this time. Seeing none. Number 8, may I please have a motion to approve the minutes as posted, A, B, C, and D?
Motion. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Can I have a motion for number 9 to accept executive session report as listed?
So moved.
Second? Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Number 10, I'm gonna break out for our class president. Can I have a motion to approve the annual bonfire on 11/24, wood collecting on 11/24, and sleep out on 11/25?
So moved. Second.
Discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Have fun. Stay warm. Didn't it rain last year?
It was cold.
Before.
It was cold, snowed last year.
It snowed, yeah.
Yeah.
All
Yeah.
right, let's move here. Can I have a motion to accept 10B, 11A through D, 13, and 14?
Second.
Discussion?
Can we ask that 11 be done with,
I'm sorry, with regrets? Absolutely, with regrets. Discussion?
He didn't do that.
All those in favor? Opposed? All right, number 15, public to be heard on non-agenda, what?
12 academics.
I had 12 in there, right? 12 included, I took everything.
Okay, gotcha.
Number 15,
Sorry.
public to be heard on non-agenda items
We'll
only.
get killed for that.
Non-agenda items only. Seeing none. Any other business from the board members? Number 17, can I have a motion to adjourn? Second, discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Meeting adjourned.